Hello guys, I'm Joe Taylor. This is a tutorial on how to make a gathered skirt. To make a gathered skirt, you need your waist circumference or the circumference of wherever you want to attach a gathered fabric to. But in this case, we are making a skirt, so we need the circumference of our waist and the length of the skirt. So the waist that I'm working with in this tutorial is 20 inches, and the width of the required fabric is going to be at least times 2 of your waist circumference and maximum of times 4 of your waist circumference. I'm sewing this for tutorial sake, so I'm just doing times 2 of my waist circumference. I said the waist circumference is 20 inches. This fabric, this is 23 inches, so I said our waist is 20 inches, 1 inch for zipper allowance, that is 1 inch on both sides, making 2. So if I'm going to do times 2, what I will need is 20 inches times 2, that is 40, plus 2 inches, that is 42. So on fold, I'm supposed to have 21. Then the length of the skirt, I'm doing the length of 16 inches. So this fabric, the length of this fabric here is about 16 inches. Then I will need 1 inch to hem the lower part. I'm going to do a rolled hem. I'll need ½ inch to join it to the band at the waist. That is 1½ inches. This skirt is going to have a band of 1½ inches. This is the band on fold, 1½ inches on fold. So this band will complement for the hemming and joining allowance of the skirt. So I'm having 16 inches by 46 inches, which is enough fabric for me to work with. And as for the band, our waist measurement is 20 inches plus 2 inches for zipper allowance, that is 22 inches. So here I'm having 22 inches by 4 inches. Meanwhile, I said my band is going to be 1½ This band is going to be on fold. The 4 inches on fold is going to be 2 inches. Then I'll join it to the skirt. By ½ inch. After joining, I'll have 1½ inch left. And I need interfacing for my band. This is called paper stay in Nigeria, and it is this softest stay here in Nigeria. So I'm going to gum it on the back to give it some sort of structure. So for my skirt, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rolled hem. I'll take this to my machine and fold it once like this, and fold again and stitch it down. Hello guys, I've ironed interfacing to my band. This is how to do a band. I'm not going to do separate video on band. So this is my band, and for the long fabric that we are going to gather, I've done a rolled hem. You can see here I folded the hem. I've also gone ahead to make a temporary stitch. I've sewn one temporary stitch. I'm going to show us how we are going to do the second one. In this tutorial, I'm just going to sew 2 lines. All you need to do is you have ½ inch sewing allowance that you're going to join this to your band. Come down by like 5/8 of an inch and make the first stitch, then put like 1/4 inch between the first and the second stitch and make. You can go ahead and make a third stitch. The essence of making this double or 3 stitch lines is when you are pulling your gather, if one break, you have 2 to work with. As for me that I want to do 2, if one should break, I'll have 1 to work with. That is just the essence. And to make this temporary stitch, this my stitch regulator here, I'm going to bring this thing, I'm going to bring it down to the lowest, so that when I'm making my stitch, I'll have a long length of stitch and sew from one end to the other. So I've made the second stitch from one end to the other, temporary stitch. So what I'm going to do next is to gather this fabric back to our waist measurement. But before I do that, let me notch the middle of the fabric. The middle, I folded it into two, then I'll just cut small here to know that okay, this is the middle. I will also notch the middle of my band. I'll cut a small tiny cut. That's notching. So after that, I'm going to gather this, picking 2 threads on the same side of the fabric, and it is preferable you pick the lower thread. The place that was down while sewing is the lower thread. It's preferable you pick the lower thread. So what I'm going to do now is just to gather this. I'm going to be drawing my thread and pulling the fabric together. I don't know if you guys can see this. See, I'm going to be drawing this and gather it back to 22 inches, pulling the thread and pushing the fabric towards the other direction. I'll do it. Let me finish it and show us. You can pull it halfway and pull from the second side, but when you are pulling from the second side, you don't pull. Since I started from the wrong side here, if I want to pick thread on this other side, what I will do is I'll pick the thread on the right side. I'm not going to pick the under thread, I'm going to pick the upper thread, the two, so that I can also gather from this side. Make sure they are even. Just adjust them properly. I'm not going to gather the zipper allowance. The zipper allowance remain straight. I'll check the measurement to see. So what I have 11 is the zipper allowance. So here like this is almost 10. I need to reduce it a bit. So since it's not up to our waist measurement, I'll just pull it back a bit to increase it. But I even like 19 or so, and I need 22. So but this is okay. This is 11. I'm having 11. That's our waist circumference plus 2 inch zipper allowance. So I haven't gotten the required volume like this, you can go ahead and tie this, knot it and cut. Repeat the same thing for the other side. So the next step now is to take my band and the place that I notch on my band like this, and the place that I notch on the skirt. Where is the place? Where is the place? This midpoint that I notch on the skirt, I'll place. This is the wrong side of my skirt. This is the right side. So I'll take it to my machine. On the wrong side, I'll pin this midpoint together like this. Then pin the both ends together too. So after pinning my band to the wrong side of my fabric, I took it to my sewing machine and I stitched it to the skirt. Open the skirt up this way, take this other end and place it this way and fold. I'll fold in my sewing allowance, the ½ inch, or I'll fold in 3/8, not up to ½ inch, and stitch so that it will cover the former stitch that I made, this former stitch that I made. So I'm going to fold and top stitch it down. I just it, fold. Hello guys, after top stitching the band, I went ahead and joined this opening, the two open ends together using a temporary stitch from the starting point to about 6 inches here, because it is for a girl of almost 2 years. Then I lock my stitch and join here down. I've already sent a video on how to fix zipper, so you fix your zipper and your gather skirt is ready. Your gather skirt is ready. Your gather skirt is ready. I didn't mean I did times 4. It could have been fuller and finer than this. This is just times 2, and it is the minimum fullness you can do. You can do times 3, times 4, maximum of times 4 of your waist circumference, unless you are using like tulle net or a very lightweight chiffon. You can do more than times 4, but for Ankara fabric, maximum times 4 of your waist circumference. So we come to the end of this tutorial.